Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. It's been a while since I've whacked one out, but the videos have still been coming. It's Sunday the 20th of October. I think I finished the 4 latest reviews I think I've done last weekend, and then before then there was loads from, you know, ages ago, if you like. So this is like the first actual review for a while. I did try and do one the other day, and in the end I just scrapped it because I still felt really bunged up and I wasn't really getting anything on the nose. I don't know if that's going to happen with this, but we're going to have a go anyway. So the beer we are looking at is from a German brewery out of Berlin, and I've had quite a few of their beers and I've been very impressed with them in general. And the brewery is Fuerst wiacek, or wiacek. And what we are taking a look at, I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, but I will show the can to you. But it is a Mexican style lager coming in at 5% ABV. And this is a can of their Chela, I don't know. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I still tried, didn't I? Lovely artwork. It's got that sort of Mexican vibe going on with it, and I do like that. 440ml can. I think this coming at about £3.60, I think it was, but I could be wrong. Picked up from Trembling Madness, so go and check them out. Like I say, some of their beers have been absolutely fantastic. I did find their Pilsner Lager, the last one I've done, a little bit too sweet. I think I said it wasn't, a little bit too lemony for my liking. I picked this up because I thought it was a Pilsner, because that's what they were saying. I didn't realise it was like a Mexican style lager. So yeah, we're going to go with it. Now, I don't have a branded glass, but because it is a Mexican lager, I'm going to whack it in a Corona glass. So it's nice and chilled. Let's get it cracked open and see what we get. And hopefully this review will be okay. My nose is still a little bit, you know, not quite right, but I'm just going to roll with it now. I want to put some content out. I want to do a video. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a good weekend. Absolutely mental. Today it is absolutely bouncing down. About an hour ago it was lovely. Yesterday was a glorious day. And that's just how quick the bloody weather changes around here. It is rather lively. It's a nucleated glass, and you can see that. I think old JB likes to say a cacophony. God knows what a cacophony is. To me, I'm just going to say it's a lot of carbonation. We've got about 4 fingers of white head, which is just growing because of the gas and nucleated bottom on this. I've got no chance of getting anything out of it, I don't think. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something rather rare. I'm going to sniff the top of the can, see if I can get anything from that. Lemon lime sort of thing. A nice hoppy bite. It smells fresh. It's quite interesting actually, because it does have that Mexican vibe, as you'd expect, sort of Corona thing, but somehow this sort of feels a lot fresher. Zesty on the nose, and I'm getting a nice hoppy bite. I wouldn't say I'm really particularly getting a malty note, but I think that's the best we're going to do, because look at that, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So what I'm going to do is stop talking. We're going to dive in Fuerst wiacek and their Mexican style lager, 5% ABV. Let's try and do something with this. Cheers. I mean, in all fairness, my first impressions, yeah, it's doing exactly what it wants to do. But we'll dive in again and we'll do the usual stuff that I do. Okay, 5%. The body is a drinkable body. Oh, it's a nice little back end there as well. I wouldn't say you sort of get that weighty, bready body in this beer. It sort of drinks light. It sort of drinks like a Corona, a Mexican style sort of lager. But the body is nice. It's a pleasant body. You don't feel you're drinking anything that is watery. Carbonation isn't too busy. Believe it or not, even though it was looking real wild, and it has died down now, the carbonation, it's there. Doesn't ruin the mouthfeel. Small bubbles, pretty smooth, but has just got that little sprightly rough edge to it. But like I say, doesn't ruin the beer. It is nice and smooth. It's very, very clean. It's very crisp and it's very refreshing. And for me, it's the cleanness for me that makes this beer stand out. What I find, certainly with the likes of Corona, if I'm drinking that, is it does have that little bit of an aftertaste. I've never been a big fan of Corona anyway, if I'm totally honest. This though, there's none of that little sort of nasty taste. I think there's a little nastiness with Corona and some of these Mexican beers. You don't get that with this. Really, really clean, really crisp, really refreshing. Glides down the hatch. Lemon, lime, little zestiness, but not overpowering. It's just there to give it a nice flavour. Got the cat wanting to come in. Gives it a little zing. Again, not overpowering. It doesn't sort of hit you with overwhelming citrus notes. Now, I find with Corona, the maltiness that you get in there, and I'm going to say that's where I feel the sort of nastiness comes from. Or that sort of feel that I get from nastiness is from the malty side of a Corona. For me, there's none of that in here. And I wouldn't really say you pick up a massive malty presence at the start, or even up most of the way through. You get a nice hoppy bite, a little spiky bite to it, almost a little bit, I mean, Pilsner-like. A nice subtle lemon lime zestiness, which gives it a lovely clean, refreshing crispness, which is what I've been going on about. And then really that sort of maltiness doesn't come in until very much late on in the back end. It is flipping bouncing down. Look at that. I don't know if you can see. Don't know if you can see, but it's absolutely hammering down. I know you didn't want to see that because you're watching the review, not the bloody weather. 5%. It drinks like a 5% beer for me, 5% sort of lager. Very easy. Back end now, and it is literally as everything that's disappearing. You're just left with that little bready note from the malts. I wouldn't even say you get a huge sort of malty feel about it, but there's just that sort of like little bready sort of note, a touch of sweetness. Doesn't linger around for long, but it is there, and it does give it a nice little back end. A little bit, a very subtle bitter bite. Yeah, I think that's really nice actually. I mean, as I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of sort of Mexican beers, to be honest. I was never a big fan of Corona. Yeah, it's downable, this, that and the other. But for me, this hits the mark for a Mexican style lager. Yeah, you're not going to be bombarded with a mass of flavours. But I think the big winning note in this is it feels so clean, so fresh, really crisp, and it doesn't have that sort of little nasty edge that I feel some Mexican beers do have, and I think that has really hit the that's how you want, if you're going to have a Mexican lager, for me, that's how you want it to be like. So yeah, Fuerst wiacek, and their Chela, I think that's how you pronounce it, Mexican style lager, coming in at 5%. Big thumbs up for me. I've got to be honest, I prefer that over the Pilsner that they done, and I expected that Pilsner to be banging, and it was nice, but it was just slightly overpowering with that lemon citrus, and I think the sweetness in it as well. But that, yeah, I'm quite surprised. It wasn't the beer that I was sort of expected to pick up. I've picked it up, and I'm happy with it. So there you go. There's my thoughts on this beer. If you've had the beer before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. If you shop with Trembling Madness and you do like a Mexican sort of style lager, give that one a go, because for me, that beats the arse off Corona. It's just got such a lovely, clean, fresh taste. Anyway, I'm going to end it there, 11 minutes in. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.